She-Hulk episode 4, DC Fandome gets cancelled, and some huge Marvel casting rumours. We're talking all this and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing podcast.
Let's do it.
Anthony, we are so close to D23.
How close are we?
When this comes out on Friday, it will be tomorrow. Kind of feels a little bit pointless doing news in today's episode because it's all going to be different in 2 days. And some of the things we talk about now, which are rumours about D23,
will be irrelevant.
They're going to be completely irrelevant.
People will be listening on Sunday going,
what are you talking about?
What have they listened to?
Chatted shit. Well, do you know what? We'll have a go. So on this week's show, we are going to give you a rundown of all this week's biggest comic book movie news, maybe. We're going to be talking, as I said, DC Fandome got cancelled. There's loads of bad things going on at DC. Daniel Lynn's not in charge anymore. I mean, not that he was, but they've still not found their Kevin Feige. We're talking about Thunderbolts casting. We're talking about rumours for Phase 5 casting, which hopefully are going to get announced at D23. And do you know what? We were going to talk about the Black Adam trailer, but it doesn't come out until 8 o'clock tonight, US time. So we're not going to talk about the Black Adam trailer.
Is the trailer going to be cut together well, seeing as the poster wasn't?
Probably not. We're also going to be breaking down this week's episode of She-Hulk and listening to all your thoughts and theories at the end of the show in Podfans Assemble. We've got timestamps in the description for you too, in case you want to skip ahead to the review or to Podfans. And don't forget, if you enjoy the show, please make sure to follow us on your favourite podcast platform. Leave us a rating and a review as well. The more subs and reviews we get, the higher we rank in the podcast charts, and the more people will get to listen to the show. News then. Bad news. DC news. DC Fandome has got cancelled. So for the last... Do you know what this is? DC Fandome.
Well, I assume it's their version of the announcements.
Yeah, basically. So for the last 2 years, they've done it as like an online event. Basically, it showcases the latest projects, gives fans the first look at new movies and shows. But this year, because they've got no new movies and shows, they thought, well, there's nothing to show because we've shown the same friggin'
Wouldn't it
thing.
be dead funny if they still did it and it was just a tumbleweed rolling past for 3 hours?
Literally, it's this year's DC Fandome would be the same as last year's. Last year's DC Fandome, they showed us Shazam, Aquaman 2 and The Flash. The year before, they showed us Shazam, Aquaman 2 and The Flash. It's like there's nothing new to show us. That wasn't the excuse, though. Warner Brothers Discovery released a statement and they said that with the return of in-person events, Warner Brothers Discovery is excited to be able to engage with our fans live at numerous Comic Cons around the world and will not be scheduling DC Fandome for 2022. I don't buy it. As I said,
Cop out!
They've got no content or they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And they're just thinking it's going to be cheaper to just go to Comic Con and stuff like that. But again, they didn't even announce anything at Comic Con. They showed us a trailer for, what was it, Shazam, and a trailer for Black Adam. And we'd already seen pretty much both. But yeah, it is what it is. Probably another reason they're not doing one is because, as we said, they are still looking for their Kevin Feige type. So we said a couple of weeks ago that exec turned producer Dan Lin was in talks to take charge of DC's film and TV projects. But now CNBC are saying that he's turned down the role. Apparently, or allegedly, the I didn't mention that. I thought I could get away with it. So I'm not going to be apparently. I'm going to be confident. 100% categorically true. The issue is that Dan already owns his own production company called Rideback, and Warner Brothers said that he'd have to leave behind loads of his commitments there, and it was a deal breaker for him. So he's basically walked away.
Fair.
They are still in talks with multiple other candidates. So there's other people in the works. In a bit more positive DC news, I think this is quite good. Deadline's reporting that Brendan Gleeson has been cast in The Joker 2.
Oh,
what an absolute ledge.
Who's Brendan Gleeson?
Brendan Gleeson is Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter.
Oh,
How good is that going to be? No idea who he's going to be playing, but...
Mad-Eye Moody.
That'd be alright.
Could you imagine?
Warner Brothers just tried to save money and go, well, we already own the rights to Mad-Eye Moody, so let's just put him in it. We've still got a contract just in case he did another movie, so we're just gonna put him in this, just right in, or just some nutter at Arkham Asylum who thinks he's Mad-Eye Moody.
Was he the one that was in Bruges as well?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
yeah.
He was brilliant. Again, no confirmation he was going to be playing. Deadline's reporting that filming is going to start this December though, so I would imagine that we'll find out quite soon. I hope we get a few tunes from him. Mad-Eye Moody singing, because it's a musical, innit?
Yeah. Could you imagine if he was Penguin?
Oh, does that just be confusing because we've just had Colin Farrell as Penguin?
I was trying to think of what other baddie he could be, but I couldn't see him as any
because Colin Farrell was in Bruges with Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
There you go. Tied that together really well, didn't we?
Didn't we?
Let's do that. Other news, non-DC news, The Rings of Power is getting review bombed.
It is.
Have you seen this?
Yeah,
What?
they've now changed it to 72 hours after the posted or something. So
yeah, so yeah, basically what you said, yeah. So when you post your review on Amazon Prime, it goes into the ether for 72 hours, and a human being's basically going to check, or someone's going to check that you've actually assumed watched the show, and not just watched it for 2 seconds. So it's like they're probably going to look at it and go, how long of an episode have you watched before you're leaving this review?
So funnily enough, I actually spoke to a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
Who
isn't me?
Who isn't you?
Shock horror.
and I said to him, like, should we watch it when you come down and visit and blah blah? And he was like, ew, no.
Really?
And I was like, why? Basically, the way that this story's being written is actually kind of like shitting on the lore a little bit.
Okay.
Of the whole kind of Tolkien's world that he's created. So, you know, if that is true, if that's accurate, then I can get why people are pissed off about it.
Yeah, but watch it first.
I'm just enjoying it.
Have you started watching it?
Yeah.
I haven't started it. I watched about 10 minutes of the first episode, but I started it at like
I've watched
midnight.
both episodes so far.
Okay.
I actually really quite enjoyed it myself. I'm not somebody, like, same with kind of the Marvel and stuff like that. I'm not obsessively into it, so I don't know every tiny detail.
Yeah, I know what you
I'm
mean.
there to just enjoy a story.
Yeah, I get that.
And for me, I'm quite like, and then if something links to something, I'll be like, oh, I know that
person.
Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And I'm quite
I need to get
enjoying
into it. I started watching, I think most people have gone House of the Dragon or Lord of the Rings because it's kind of like the same show. I went House of the Dragon, and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because I've watched that for 3 episodes, I've now decided to start watching Game of Thrones again.
Yeah.
I might finish it at the 7th series because last series was crap, but anyway,
not completely, only about halfway through.
Yeah, I feel like I'll appreciate it more now that I'm expecting what comes. I think it was just a bit of a shock. We talked about this massively on the Discord with the patrons the other day, like what series was a bad ending.
For me, up to the Dragon on the Ice,
can't remember that.
Over the Wall in the last series.
Still can't remember that. I'm going to have fun watching Game of Thrones again because I can't bloody remember anything.
After that, like, that was phenomenal. And then after that, that was the last time I did a proper gasp.
I can't remember.
I loved it.
I'm going to watch it. I said, but
yeah.
I'm almost finished season 1, but we'll crack on.
Okay.
We'll still talk about Lord of the Rings then.
Yeah.
So the scores at the moment, Rotten Tomatoes audience score is down to 37%.
Okay.
IMDb is a little bit higher. It's at 6.8 out of 10.
Right.
But all the reviews are either 1s or 10s.
Right.
There's a few in betweens.
Yeah.
But most are 1s or 10s. The thing is, I checked this. Not a single one of the 1-star reviews has actually got a written review. It's all just a 1-star rating. So no one's watched it.
Oh,
clearly.
Grow up and find something better to do with your time. Honestly.
You talked about the reasons why. Apparently, this is because I don't know for certain.
Apparently.
The reason behind it is because it's got a female lead and there are black actors in it. So people are saying that there shouldn't be black elves and a dwarf can't be black because they live underground. Listen to those words. You can't have a black elf. Shock, horror, newsflash, there's no such thing as elves. If they were purple, it'd still be okay, guys. Grow up. Do you know what, though? Some aren't negative because of that. They're not trolls. Some people just don't like it because of the lore.
Yeah.
But yeah. And again, just because you don't like something doesn't mean that you're trolling it. I'd give Sandman 1 out of 10. I'd really dislike that series.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it for any particular reason, apart from the fact that it was crap in my opinion. But I don't, again, there's nothing like, I'm not
There's
going
nothing
in,
that's
like,
feeding that. There's nothing that...
No. I didn't, I mean, do you know what? I was so excited for this series. I went in with such high expectations.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why I didn't like it so much. But again, if you want our full thoughts on that one, Patreon. Marvel news then.
Yeah.
Yelena is apparently going to be the leader of the Thunderbolts.
I'm so okay with this.
Allegedly, not apparently.
Good save.
I know, yeah, it's good, that wasn't it? So Justin Kroll from Deadline has said this week that the movie is going to see Yelena leading a team of John Walker and Baron Zemo. They're the only names mentioned. There's a few rumblings on Twitter that it's just going to be a team of super soldiers.
Oh.
Charles Murphy from Murphy's Multiverse, who I assume has got a bit of information on this, he was saying, I'm not that excited for a team led by Yelena of super soldiers, and someone said, well, you've got Abomination in there, and he said, do they though? So whether he knows something and he's actually not going to be in it. Hopefully it's not just going to be a team of super soldiers.
Oh, I
mean, they're good characters.
It's a bit boring and samey, isn't it?
Yeah, but I suppose Suicide Squad was all just humans, apart from King Shark.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
Who's my
number
favourite?
one. Let's go with number one.
And
Number one, I Cara Delevingne doing a belly dancing thing all the way through. If you could see me now, listeners, Andy can. That's why he's laughing.
I wish I couldn't.
Last bit of Marvel news. Marvel Phase 5 casting rumours. So, very interesting tweet came out earlier this week from a guy called Emmett Kennedy. Now, he is a broadcaster for TalkSport in the UK.
Yeah.
Hosts a racing podcast. He works for ITV. Sky Crime, so he's quite respectable journalist, and he said that he's reliably informed that Marvel Studios have signed epic talent for Phase 5, and the names he's put down are John Boyega, so excited, that'll be amazing, Henry Cavill, Jodie Comer, who we talked about last week, potentially being
I
Sue
thought
Storm.
that was so strange when her name got mentioned. I was like,
that's everywhere at the moment that she's going to be Sue Storm, isn't it, today? But
oh really?
I can see that. Daisy Edgar Jones, John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, our best mate John, and Denzel Washington.
That one threw me.
That threw me as well.
Because I was like, who?
It's too bigger names, in my opinion. Hopefully it's right.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I mean, at this point in Marvel, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either, but they normally go for lesser known
But they
actors.
could be totally different. And for all we know, Denzel's part could be a part like Zeus. Or something like that. One where it's just a bit of a cameo and he's only in it for 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's a big name, so it's something to put out there.
Yeah.
So John Krasinski is going to carry on as...
I'm not convinced because I can't see John Krasinski being Reed Richards alongside a Jodie Comer Sue Storm. He's too old.
Do you think?
Yeah. Just doesn't fit. I just think he's too old for Jodie Comer.
But then I thought that when...
I mean, we don't know.
I thought the original one, the 2000 and... Oh, no. What was that one?
Phantom Force Stick or the old one with you?
No, the old one. The old one. I thought that age gap was quite big.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So,
no, I'd say Ewan Griffiths is probably about the same age as who played Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
I'd put them about the same age.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm not certain.
Quick IMDb check.
I'd feel like that. I mean, when I watched it, it felt like there was quite an age gap between them.
Did it feel a bit weird?
It felt a bit daddy-ish. I'm just gonna say it.
It's like,
we were tiptoeing.
What's the weirdest, most uncomfortable way you could say that? Daddy. So, Ewan Griffith was born in 1973. I'm too tired to work out the maths of how old he is, but yeah, 1973.
So he's 49.
And Jessica Alba was born in 1981. 8 years. Did that quick, didn't I? Quick maths.
Well done.
All
I really want to say that
maths
was 1975.
So yeah, there's a bit of a gap. I don't know. I just think John Krasinski's a bit old. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with John Krasinski as a Reed Richards and we had a 616 Reed Richards and John Krasinski just popped up from time to time as an alternate. Or is that going to be too confusing?
I think it might be too confusing.
Do you think then it's going to be too confusing anyway if you have a different Reed Richards since we've already had Krasinski as Reed Richards
and
for the general audience?
And I think that's why they stick to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be happy. It's something that I've always wanted.
It just feels like I've seen it now and I want somebody else. There's a lot of other great actors out there who I think could pull it off as well. But we will see.
That's very millennial of you.
D23 is tomorrow. Now that you're listening to this, we are going to do a bonus episode. Either release it on Saturday or Sunday or Monday at some point.
Or Tuesday or Wednesday.
At some point in the next 27 days, you will have a bonus episode covering D23. It's not being streamed, D23, apparently. Or the Marvel announcement isn't anyway, so you'll have to be all over Twitter. Did I say apparently again?
You did,
allegedly. Fuck. Right, so D23 then. I want 2 predictions off you. I want a realistic prediction and then a ridiculous prediction.
You've put me on the spot now.
I know I have.
I
didn't put myself on the spot. I wrote this down 3 days ago and I haven't got one because I forgot.
So a realistic prediction.
Yeah, go on. Something obvious. Not obvious, but something that you think is probably going to happen.
I reckon they might announce who will play Wolverine.
Do you?
That's
your realistic one.
That's my realistic one.
Okay, go on. What's your
the only reason being is because we've had all this talk about John with whether he's going to be Magneto or Doom or Professor X, but then with She-Hulk with the mention of the claws, maybe we'll get.
He's
told.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go for a ridiculous one.
My ridiculous
but
one.
Something that you really hope's going to happen, but it's never going to happen. Should I go?
Yeah, you go first.
So my expectation, my realistic prediction is that we're going to get full Fantastic Four cast.
Okay.
I think we're going to get Matt Shackman on stage because we already kind of know he's going to be directing and he's going to bring out the Fantastic Four cast. I think that's almost... I'll be shocked if that doesn't happen. My ridiculous one is that Ryan Reynolds is going to be there as Deadpool to confirm Deadpool 3, and he's going to bring Hugh Jackman out and he's going to be Wolverine. That's my ridiculous, but God, I hope it happens. Prediction. I'd love that.
Isn't it funny the way Wolverine was mentioned in both?
Yeah. But it's weird that I was in the ridiculous one and you were in the realistic one, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. You possibly already know, listeners, when you're listening to this.
I know, yeah.
And you're sitting there going, dickheads. Come on, let's get a ridiculous one.
What's my ridiculous one?
We've edited out 6 hours of Anthony going,
okay, so my ridiculous one is that they'll do some kind of hydraulic... Is that the right word?
Go on, I don't know, but it's good. Hydraulic. I don't know where you're going with it, but yeah.
Appearance of Jim Carrey as MODOK.
What's hydraulic then?
Floaty in the air.
Hydraulic.
That's what I meant. I don't know why I added an extra syllable. I don't know what happened. Oh, I've had a long day.
Jim Carrey doing his interview. I came on stage using hydraulics.
Now all I can think of is hydraulics.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of a joke about Captain America's going to hydraulics. I can't. You put me on the spot. Anyway, I think we are done for news then. Again, we were supposed to be talking about the Black Adam trailer, but again, you've seen it by now. Probably no big.
We didn't mention the poster though.
No, it was crap.
It was shit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know it was real.
Oh, I thought we said it was... I thought you texted me saying it was official.
That's what it said online. But, I mean, I've read a lot of things online that weren't true.
Okay.
But that's where everyone was going. I was going to say apparently, but we'll give that a miss.
Photoshop was missed.
It wasn't good.
No.
I could do better than that. I do better than that.
You do?
Anyway, should we talk She-Hulk episode 4?
Yeah.
So, She-Hulk episode 4... Is this real? No, is this not real magic? It's called.
Is this real life?
Is this not real?
Is this real life?
It's the most complicated title for an episode ever. Anyway, we're going to review that now. Spoilers from the get-go. Spoilerific stuff. Spoilerific? Don't know where that came from. Anyway, before we get into the full breakdown, Anthony.
Yeah.
In general, what did you think of the episode? Feel like you're going to feel different to me?
Yeah, I was a bit pissed off with it.
Really? Didn't like it at all?
It's not that I didn't like it at all. I've just gotten to a point now. We're in episode 4, and I'm just a bit like, where's it going?
Yeah.
But not in a good way. Like, not in a, I'm excited to see where it's going. I'm now just getting a bit, I'm like, fuck's sake, where's the story?
It's not really giving us anything.
No.
It's like we say, freak of the week.
And I know they keep joking about it being nostalgic and Wong being back. I mean, it was the first thing she said in the episode, brilliant. And it was funny.
Yeah.
But she's right to a point where it's starting to niggle at me a little bit.
Yeah, but they're very self-aware. But no, rather than just being self-aware and going, "Oh, we know, don't worry," it's like, "Ha!"
I think
if
we finished watching this and I went back and watched it again, it wouldn't annoy me because I've seen the end and I know where it gets to. But right now, I mean, the saving grace was at the very end. I'm like, "Oh, we get Tatiana back."
Yeah. Titania.
Either Tatiana was a drag queen.
Tatiana's a She-Hulk. Tatiana was Lani.
Oh yeah,
she is as well. She was in the whole episode. No, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
This series is primed for a binge. This was like they needed to drop the whole thing.
Yeah, totally.
The reviewers, not us because we're not good enough, but the reviewers, the good reviewers, the big reviewers, got episodes 1 to 4 at once, and they really enjoyed it, and I can see that more. The fact that they've had to wait a month for episode 5 must be a bit of a pain in the arse.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
But they needed to 20 minutes every week of this with nothing to carry the story apart from the last minute of each episode to carry the overarching story through.
Yeah,
it is getting a little bit tedious. For what it was, I really enjoyed it though. There were bits I didn't. But most of it, and again, we'll go into more detail. Yeah. I've not laughed at a Marvel show as much as I laughed at this episode. Certainly not another. I was killing myself laughing, like literally laughing out loud multiple times.
See, I didn't laugh at this one out loud, but I laughed at the last episode out loud loads.
I can't even remember what happened in the last episode.
No, I can't right now.
You didn't laugh at Madisynn.
No.
Did she annoy you?
Yeah.
Anthony.
Right. Can I just tell you why though?
Yeah, go on.
Ever been to a gay bar?
No. Yeah.
Girls like that are fucking everywhere, and quite frankly, I had enough of that in my 20s. I'm done. Oh my god! And I can't. But I just want a Manhattan. You're still lovely because you're gay, and I'm just no.
Do you go to American gay bars?
Apparently, so.
Apparently.
I was just doing hair accent, but it's the same shit that just comes out. It's like they've got no personality, so they latch onto gay men.
I thought she was brilliant, and we'll talk more about.
I mean, she's obviously not like that in real life. So her acting was.
I mean, you don't think so?
Hilarious. The bits that I found dead funny was the fact that she was so blasé about going to different dimensions.
Yeah.
That bit was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
But I couldn't stand her for more than one sentence.
Oh, really?
When she'd said the sentence, I was like, get off my screen now.
Oh, no, I want more Madisynn.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I do. Let's talk about that. Not for that reason. Just for, I think she's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think she's done. That's not where it came from. That's not how it was supposed to come across. Anyway, let's talk about Wong. Speaking of Wong. So, we won't go through the whole episode. I really enjoyed the fourth wall break at the start. We've already mentioned it. It was very much like, we know what you're doing. Even the fact she said, you look happy. You look happy. It's because Wong's back, isn't it? Gives us a bit of Twitter armor for a week. They are so aware of what's going on.
That was funny. I like that. But then, as I say, as the episode got on, I was just like, it's episode 4 now. Can we get some
I know what you mean.
Meaty story to it now?
We still had 2 stories going on in the episode. So we had the Wong, Donny Blaze, not Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, Donny Blaze story, which we'll talk about. And then we had the Jen/She-Hulk dating story, which was a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that as well. And then, like we said, for about a minute at the end, we got an actual story going through.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the stories, though, because I want to go into detail with them, CGI was all over the place in this episode. The first couple of times you saw her as She-Hulk, basically when she was in the office with Wong, it looked awful again. It looked like a PS1 game again. It was really smooth. There was no sort of... There was it's like a skin.
No texture to it.
There was no texture to her at all. It was just like... It was like something from a really old computer game. And at first I thought, it's winding me up a little bit, because it's like they've put a lot of effort into episode 1 and 2 because of all the backlash they got off the trailer.
Yeah.
And now it's like, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Or we're not going to put that much effort into it anymore. Yeah. And then in contrast, the end of the episode, so when she was dating as She-Hulk, and then that fight at the end, and when she got back from the date and she had like sweat dripping down her head and like a bit of demon in her hair. It was amazing.
Yeah, perfect.
It was perfect. It could have been somebody in makeup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I can't understand why there's such a disparity between two sides of it, though. They need to... But it's not... I mean, you can forgive it, but it's really bad. Yeah. It's not even like, it's like, oh, that was a little bit off. The whole thing, the way she moves, the way she looks in that. It's like, but that was the bad bit in the first episode.
Do you know what I find really funny, though?
What?
We've never had a conversation like this until She-Hulk.
No, I know, but it's never been that bad.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. So why do they think that it's acceptable at this point to do it when we're 20 years into
I don't know.
The Marvel stuff?
It's like there's a different character model for She-Hulk with her hair up and She-Hulk with her hair down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were 2 different character models for that purpose. Yeah. But there are, and there's a huge difference between it.
Yeah.
I think the reason is because we've never had in the series a fully CGI'd character. There will have been moments where a character is fully created by CGI, but it'll have been an action shot where they're moving really quick and you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Whereas with She-Hulk, she's just there talking and acting. And it was the same in the courtroom as well. And you don't see it with Hulk, because again, I would imagine that they're just using the character model from Endgame.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's just pick him up, put him in She-Hulk, basically. Yeah. So that's why there's an issue with it. They need to fix it. I think they'll go back and fix it in post, like I said about last week's episode.
Yeah.
Like Disney Plus Day today, and it's all over Twitter. They've changed Axel in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So the kid's floating head, that looked shit in the cinema. To be honest, it looks worse now. But it's different. They've changed it.
Yeah.
So I think they'll go back and they'll change these things. But they need to get on top of that straight away. It's doing my head in. So let's talk about the Wong story. It just sounds weird saying the Wong story. I love Wong. It just came out of my mouth. I heard it.
I heard it too. And so did all our listeners.
I said it and then heard it. Anyway, I love the character of Wong. But in all seriousness, the whole Sopranos thing, when it first went to him and he's like getting his groove on in his apartment.
Also, I've never seen Sopranos, so it's ruined it for me.
It's ruined it for me as well, yeah, to be fair. It's like, you sit there and say on our podcast, it's like it's a year old if you've not seen it yet. That's
I know, I'm just kidding. That's why I said it.
I've never seen it though, but I don't feel like I need to watch it anymore.
No.
The whole character of Donny Blaze, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Funny, but a bit of a pain in the arse. I did wonder if it's something to do with Johnny Blaze, but apparently not. It's just a character that's been completely... You know Johnny Blaze is, don't you?
Yeah. Ghost Rider.
That's why there was a big sort of hoo-ha with the trailer before the series started, because obviously there was... You could see Oni Blaze on a poster in the background and everything.
Oh, okay.
Are we getting Ghost Rider in it, basically?
Right, yeah. I'm with you.
Before we go onto the story, I know I'm like all over the place. Talking of characters, where's Daredevil? I know we're only 4 episodes in and there's five to go. But I just feel like we should have seen him by now.
And this is what I mean. Where's the story?
Well, I know.
Like, it's annoying me.
And I know
it is annoying me now.
We're not halfway through. But yeah, I think they need to put him in the next episode because I think people are getting a bit annoyed.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter earlier today and Paul from Heavy Spoilers tweeted that he ran, what if Daredevil is the post-credit scene of the last episode? Would you be surprised at this point though?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I could see that happening. Yeah, I'd be devastated.
I'd be devastated.
I don't know. Devastated is probably not the wrong word. I think I'd just be a bit miffed.
I'd be devastated.
I think if we got to that point and hadn't seen Daredevil, I'd be sort of on board with the fact that he's not in it, and they're taking the piss a little bit with it.
I don't know.
A little bit. So anyway, yeah, the Wong, still can't do it. The Wong story. So we got Wong. I can't do it. You do it. We got Wong.
I'm so desperate to say the white story.
What? I don't get it.
It's the Wong and the white.
Oh, okay. I wasn't as good as some of your other ones, aren't me?
Sorry.
It was quite good actually. Now that I think about it. I did get it. It just didn't sit right.
Didn't process.
Anyway, so we saw obviously the Donny Blaze magic show. We got the first introduction to Madisynn, who I think is absolutely brilliant. 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
Did you see that the man? Did you see the man scribbled it out after she spelt it though? Because he did spell it wrong
in the court.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So that made me laugh.
I didn't get
that. Did make me laugh.
The whole court.
When she spelled it out,
brilliant.
It just cut to this man. He just went. Oh.
I didn't see it.
Just
no,
scribbled it out.
I did not notice that at all. I loved I think the court part was the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
That is where I laughed out loud from start to finish, all the way through. So we got.
Can we just say right? The guy's manager was Morgan Freeman if you ordered him off Wish.
Yes. He was so good though, and his lawyer was even better.
And he's like sat there going, ooh, like in the background. And then when she was like, I can see the letter, and he's like, no, you can't. And just pokes it through the shirt.
But again, the lawyer was just as good. So in the court, we got Madisynn as rolling up as the witness, drunk, absolutely like off her face.
I mean, to be fair, she wasn't expecting to be there, was she?
No, she wasn't. I love the fact that as soon as she comes through the portal, she just sees Wong and she's like,
hey, Wongy.
Wongers! Amazing. Absolute besties now. She's like, oh, if you've been pulled over for a speeding ticket, just tell them you were texting 911 because they can't prosecute you. So stupid. And Jen's like, yeah, they can. That's not what he's here for. But yeah, that's not how it works. Even when she takes Jen's chair after she's finished doing the witness thing, she comes back and Jen's just like, where the hell am I supposed to sit? When she's on the witness box, she tells us for the second time about a demon that she's met.
Jake.
Yeah, well, yeah. And Donnie's manager's like, yeah, I know Jake, yeah, because I'm magic. Do you think it's Mephisto?
Could be.
It could be. It's a demon.
You know, I didn't even think about that.
That was the first thing I went to. As soon as she said there was a demon.
I'm actually really sad now that I didn't think about that.
How did you not get Mephisto?
I've been going on about Mephisto for years.
No, as soon as she said, I think she said that he needed 6 drops of her blood.
Yeah.
And he was a goat.
Yeah. Did you see the drawings at the end again?
Yes, I saw that. I picked up on it this time. Again, I didn't the first time I watched it, but I did the second time. But yeah, we could have had it. That could be our first appearance of Mephisto.
Could be.
It's probably not, but it could be the first appearance of Mephisto. No. I hope it is. I hope the first time we see Mephisto is a goat. Oh, he's Madisynn. What if Madisynn's Mephisto? Starts with an M.
What if he's one of Thor's big goats?
No, I like the goats. Don't want them being bad. No, don't like that. Anyway, in the courtroom then, we got the whole magic scene with Donnie, because he was saying like it's not real magic. All the stuff that you're doing and all the precedents that are already set. they're not real magic, this is real magic. And he's like, not real magic? Is this not real magic? And he does the costume change, and he's like, ta-da. And then his lawyer starts pulling
and then the judge goes,
like, ooh.
Stop letting off smoke bombs in my courtroom.
And the manager's like got the piece of rope with the knot in it. He's like, ooh. Absolutely brilliant. The best one was when he does another magic trick later on, and he basically gets this like cloth and puts it up against the desk, and you can see the lawyer like get a rabbit out of his back and sort of like stuff it behind the cloth. I was killing myself. I thought it was absolutely
Have you
brilliant.
heard the age-old joke?
No.
What do you call a magician who can't do magic? Ian.
Hang on. Wait there. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Okay, I get it. That took me far too long.
I can't believe it took you that long.
Oh, I'm dead. That was good. How did that take me that long? I had to really think about that then. Really think about it.
Oh,
I'm taking that one. I'm stealing that.
Okay.
I'm going to go home and go, Jill, get this.
It's like a full-on dad joke that, you know.
It was a full-on dad joke. I like that though, Andy.
Thanks.
One of the best bits when it again had me laughing was when Wong gets up and does his little speech. It's like a really deep speech. He's like, sorcery, not done properly, can cause tears in time and space. It can threaten the known and the unknown universe. And then silence. And then Madisynn's like, case closed.
That was funny, to be fair.
I just laughed at it all the way through.
And then Jen's just like, no.
I know, yeah. No, the case is not closed. And then she continues to give Sopranos spoilers to Wong on the way out. See, I like that. And obviously the end of that story was the fight with the monsters, which again looked good.
Yeah.
It felt like it was sort of trying to shoehorn a little bit of action into the episode.
Yeah.
Because nothing superhero-y had happened up until that point. But I think it was still good. And as I said, the CGI was miles better.
Yeah.
On that. Still no link to the overarching story.
No.
I was surprised to actually get Wong in this episode. I thought we'd see him. I didn't think we'd see him again after last week.
Didn't you?
No, I thought that. I mean, maybe towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
But we've still not seen Blonsky. We've still not seen Bruce.
No.
So I thought, and again, with it being like clearly like a one story per week series.
Yeah.
I thought we just miss Wong now.
I thought with Bruce being in the ship.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced we won't see him again. Maybe at the very end of the last episode,
see him at the
but
end,
that's about it. So I thought Wong was probably going to be the more constant one out of everybody. But
now I'm not convinced we'll see him again.
Oh, I am.
I don't think we'll see him again.
No, they'll be back in court again because they've got the cease and desist until the next court date.
Yeah, I don't think that'll get followed up. I mean, not followed up. I just think it'll just get missed now.
Well, he's cocked up though, hasn't he? And done something with one of the rings. So I said rings of power then because I've got
rings of power. No, not them. Different one.
But because he can do, I feel like that's going to be part of the story because he can open up portals and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I've got not in a good way, like you said. I've got no idea where this is going. Yeah. And the things that are happening are putting me more off the fact that certain things might be to do with the overarching story. Like last week, I mean, we'll skip to the end. We'll talk about the dating thing in a minute. But at the end, she gets a subpoena from Titania. Yeah. Because Titania's trademarked She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Which is, it's funny and it's, kind of. But, it's another sort of freak of the week type story. It's Titania back and that's clearly going to be the story for the next episode. But it puts me off now, Titania being the big bad. I don't for 1 minute think she's the big bad and she's the one who's trying to get She-Hulk's powers.
No, but the other thing is I can't understand why.
Why what?
Like the motivation of it.
Of Titania?
Yeah.
I think she just wants
to I think it's like a bit of publicity or something.
Yeah,
but I mean, from a storytelling point of view, it feels forced.
Yeah, but so did this episode. Wong trying to sue another magician for doing crap magic. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, but I got it.
No, because I get it.
It started to train.
Yeah, no, I think they made it deeper.
Yeah.
But I think they'll make the Titania story next week deeper as well. But if you sat there at the very start of this and said, right, just to let you know, episode 4 is going to be Wong getting Jen to sue a magician who's robbed the sling ring so that he does a cease and desist, you'd sit there and go, that is weird and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And they made it work, so I'm confident they'll make Titania's story work, but it's not leading anywhere.
No.
I think that again. And to be honest, it links to the dating thing because one of the dates that she goes on is with the guy from Baywatch. You seen the Baywatch film with The Rock?
No.
And Zac Efron. So one of the guy who
surprisingly
was
no.
the guy who was asking her all the questions about like, is your skin impenetrable? And can vibranium puncture your skin and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Again, there's a few people on Twitter who are saying, is he one of the Wrecking Crew who tried to take our blood in the last episode, and that's what he's trying to do? I'm not convinced he is.
Yeah.
But is it still part of whoever the overall baddie is, just trying to get more information from Jen?
Yeah.
But again, if it's giving us clues as to that, they need to give us more obvious clues because it could just be completely missed.
Yeah.
And there's still nothing pointing to where this is going, as I said. Let's talk about the whole dating dilemma story then. So, go on, Andy, you talk about this one. I'm scared.
I mean, right, so, playing devil's advocate.
Okay.
I kind of get it.
I 100% get it.
It's giving me celeb vibes over, are you dating me because you like me, or are you dating me because I'm She-Hulk? Are you dating me because of my status? Are you dating me because I'm going to be all over places and have a bit of fame with me? Are you coming along for the ride?
Yeah.
Rather than because you like me.
Yeah.
So, to a degree, I get that.
Yeah.
Every guy was an asshole.
That's the thing that is not annoying me or upsetting me, because I want to be careful how I sort of put this across. I get it. I get the message that they're trying to convey with this series.
It was just a lot in this episode.
Too much.
It was.
It pushed it just too far at the end of the day. I know it's trying to put a message across, and I know it's a very important message.
Yeah.
And that women shouldn't have to put up with male chauvinists and stuff like that. And I completely get that, and I'm good with that. But every single episode is a little bit much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is, at the end of the day, it's a superhero show. Yeah. It's a bit of escapism.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you can't have an important message in that show.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's getting a bit much.
Yeah.
And again, I don't disagree with the message. I think it's a good message, as I said. I've never experienced being a woman, obviously. So maybe sometimes it does feel like every guy you meet is
I've
an
experienced
arsehole.
a man being a dick on a date. Like that I've experienced. So,
well, there you go.
So and it's funny because when I watched it, I could see traits of dates that I've been on.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I mean, especially being gay, that whole who pays the bill thing.
Yeah.
That resonated quite hard with me because traditionally, not saying it's right, but traditionally, it was the guy that always paid for the bill.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just it's an old tradition, and that's what happens. There are a lot of women now who prefer to either go Dutch or even offer to pay. And that's just, it depends on who you are and what you prefer. Go for it. Do you know what? With gay men, you never know. Because you're both men.
It just depends on which one's the more feminine.
I've always done whoever asks the other one out on the date.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they're asking you to come out and pay for something, so it's only fair that they offer to pay for it. Yeah, if that makes sense.
No, I get it.
And then if you decide you're going to do it again, just then rotate.
Yeah, okay.
And do it that way.
No, I get that.
So that's kind of how I've got it in my head, but because of that, I could see elements of it in the dates. Yeah. But it was the fact that it was one after. I mean, you said it to me before. Every man apart from Wong was a dick in this episode.
Not necessarily all a dick, but I mean, most of them were. 99% of the people in there.
The only other one that wasn't a dick was a dad.
No,
but he was doing a bit of the overprotective thing instead.
Exactly. Yeah,
and it was the making a woman feel less like.
Spot on.
That was it's that thing again. You know, we've had it in the first 3 episodes in little moments.
Yeah,
this was
felt
just
more
fed through the entire episode.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
and it was a bit heavy.
I think that was very heavy-handed.
I'm very much all for telling a story that needs to be told.
Yeah,
you know, we've had stuff about race, we've had stuff about sexism, we've had stuff about the LGBTQ. You know, we're getting it all, but to have literally it's been steamrolled into this episode. Yeah, it was rather than drip fed in areas, and that's the part that's got me a little bit. And now, I feel
like a lot of it's over exaggerated.
I can't enjoy it because of it.
No, it takes you out of it.
Yeah,
it does. And
I mean that guy, like it had me going with them when that guy was really into her and he was saying, "Well, I want to ask about you," and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, brilliant.
And even he turned out to be a dick.
And then the second she turned back into Jen, he was like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Keep
Exactly.
the sweater.
Exactly.
And it was
there's
fuck's sake.
Nobody. And again, if watching this can make somebody, a guy who maybe does act that way, think longer or differently about how he is acting, great. But it is, like I said, it's a superhero show. It doesn't need to be constant. I don't think that it's like, and again, a lot of the messages that we got, not so much this week, but for the first couple of weeks, was you're putting men down and you're making women out to be superheroes and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's a superhero show.
If this episode had been episode 1, I'd have agreed with what the people said.
And not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily. I think it's going slightly too far with it, but I still don't think it's going down the route of it's not making women look better than men. That's not what it is, but that's where a lot of people have got a problem with it. It's not doing that, and I still, even after this episode, don't think that's what it's doing in the slightest.
Yeah.
It's not attacking every man and men in general. It's attacking blokes who act like dickheads and act like male chauvinists. And I get that. The problem I had with this episode was every man in it was a male chauvinist.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that some women will go through or have moments where it seems like every bloke they speak to over a period of a couple of weeks is a dick, and it's just like, I'm having a bad time at the moment. I'm sure that happens to, you have it with just people in general.
Yeah.
You'll have a couple of days where it's like everybody I bumped into, man, woman, whatever, is just a bit of pain in the arse this week, especially, we deal with customers on a regular basis, and you will have like a week where it's just like everyone's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
But it just feels a little bit too much. I hope they dial it down, because I think it's taken away from the story.
Yeah.
And I also think it's making the message that they're trying to put across seem less important, because you're now rolling your eyes and going, again, I know I get it, but it doesn't annoy you, but it's a bit like, come on now, I've heard this 10 times in this episode already.
Right. The thing for me is, I go, brilliant, they've addressed it.
100%.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Then when they address it for the 6th time in the same episode,
in a 20-minute episode.
In a 20-minute episode, my response then becomes, I'm fucking bored now of being told how much of a dick we are. Like, no, but it is.
No, I know.
And it gets to that point. Perfect example of this for me, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The 13th Doctor.
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
Every episode that has been written for her pretty much has been telling us how terrible we are as humans.
Right.
There was a planet, and they were like, God, this is disgusting. It's there's monsters on here. There's it's barren, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's Earth.
Right. Yeah.
So many years into the future because of what we've done to it. And then it just kind of happened episode after episode.
Yeah.
We were just being reminded how terrible we were as a race.
Yeah.
And okay, I get it for a message, but if every week I'm watching it, I'm walking away feeling bad about myself again,
it becomes
stop
a different
it.
Show.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like if you watched a documentary series from David Attenborough or something like that, you'd expect to receive that message.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you want to watch Doctor Who because you want to watch an alien fight other aliens.
Yeah.
And yet, like you said, yes, it's important to get messages in there because it's a way of getting messages to people who wouldn't necessarily go and look for them.
But if you overdo
it,
if you overdo it, you reverse the work that you've done, and that's the problem.
I think you do. Hopefully, again, the other 3 episodes weren't like this.
No.
It felt. I was to the point where with all 3 of them, I was like, I'm glad they've done this. I think we've even said they handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
They didn't go over the top.
No.
But they made it as important as it needed to be.
Yeah.
This, again, just felt full. So hopefully, next week, it'll be a little...
They'll dial it back a bit again.
I'm completely happy with the message still being there and them still touching on it.
Yeah.
But they just need to dial it back a bit, like you said.
Totally.
Ending, we've already talked about the actual ending. So Titania, again, suing Jen for the She-Hulk trademark. Post-credits. I love the post-credits.
What happened again?
I
did watch it.
It was Madisynn and Wong. Sitting at Wong's house watching
another episode of Sopranos.
Talking about what
drinks he's had. Yeah.
Again, so random. But I loved it. I need them as a sitcom. We need more Madisynn.
Could you imagine?
It'd be amazing.
And the best part is because of the portals, anyone could just come and do a cameo.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love that.
Strange with a fight and a tentacle just comes out and grabs him and takes him back off again. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I could quite happily have every post-credit scene for the rest of the series be a minute of those two talking about something else. Them making a cake. them doing something. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like, right, you know all the stupid little things at the start of the 1970s. They should be making
cocktails in the next one. Yeah. Because they've talked about the cocktails.
Or something like that. Just doing things, doing activities together. Do you know what I mean? Anything, just those two spending a minute together. It was great.
Could you imagine them on a gondola?
Yeah. I'm all for it. We need, I think Marvel are genuinely missing a trick if they don't bring Madisynn back. I know you don't like her. And it's nothing to do with what she looks like.
The thing is, if they brought her back for like funny, like if she stood there with the same cocktail in her hand for like random scenes in series or films over the next couple of years, I'd piss myself laughing. Yeah, because I'd be like, she's back. It's like playing Where's Fucking Wally. Do you know what I mean? And she's there with a drink again, and then she just goes back through a portal ring. Like that'd be hilarious. Yeah. I just don't want her to have a conversation. I just can't cope with that.
Yeah. So like
it's just dead nasally.
The next time we see Wong at Kamatage or something like that, he'll be sat talking to Doctor Strange, Cap, whatever.
She's shaking a cocktail maker.
No, she just kind of like comes into the room and grabs something. It's like sorry, and then goes. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And everybody.
Or you find out she's become his PA. Yeah. Wong, has he got a 4 o'clock?
Just something like that. We just need more Madisynn. She's great. One question I've got about the post-credit scene.
Go on.
And I don't know what. Right. So when she's talking about the different drinks.
The wedding. Whose wedding? That's exactly what I thought.
Jumped to it, but yeah.
Sorry.
Whose wedding? Vodka and yak's milk.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what? I've not told you about this, and again, we're going off topic. Welcome to TSD. But I found my favorite YouTuber. It's a guy called Doka Ryan. Have you seen him on YouTube?
No.
And he's got like 2 million subscribers or something like that.
Okay.
I've literally discovered him this week. He basically gets a food and a bottle of spirits and mixes them together. But it's brilliant. It's like, today I'm going to be putting Jaffa cakes in whiskey. I'm going to leave them for a week or until something interesting happens, and then it'll skip and it'll go. So it's been a week, and then he'll try the Jaffa cakes, and then he'll drink the whiskey. And sometimes it's vile, and then other times he's like, whoa, that is amazing. And it just reminded me of that, literally. And I've only just discovered him a couple of days ago, but it was the first thing I went to.
I think I've seen one of those videos before.
He's so good. There you go. There's a plug for Doka Ryan. I mean, he gets a lot more listeners than we do, clearly. But yeah, go and check him out. It's funny. But yeah, whose wedding is it? First thought was Christine's.
Well, that's what I thought.
He wasn't there.
No, he wasn't.
So whose wedding is it?
I don't know.
Who in the MCU
could it be a Fantastic Four wedding? Could it be Reed and Susan?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so good.
Imagine if that was the little.
Who else is it going to be?
I don't know.
Who else in the MCU at the moment has even got a partner? No one.
Them?
Not any main characters.
No.
I'm trying to run through the new Avengers now because they're all over the place. But
yeah,
there isn't anybody.
No, there isn't.
Could, but what can you imagine if that was it? I'd be good with that.
I'd be good with that.
That can't just be a throwaway line.
No,
that's got to mean something.
The fact that he was like the wedding.
We still got it from the wedding.
Yeah.
Yak's milk. I mean, why would you have yak's milk? Whose wedding's going to have yak's milk at it?
I don't know.
I mean, that's where he drank it as well. Yeah, don't know. Unless Wong's married.
What if it was Abomination's wedding to the 7 Soul Sisters?
Soul Sisters, soulmates.
I mean...
all having to sing a song.
That was stupid. I apologise.
I like it. It was better than Magic Ian. It wasn't. That was genius. Yeah, it could be Abomination and 7 Soulmates. Yeah, I reckon that's more likely.
Well, I was just thinking Yak's milk would make more sense with the Namaste, meadowy type feel to the way they wear.
I can see that. I think that's what it'll be.
Okay.
Back to D23. Ridiculous prediction and realistic. Realistic. It's Abomination. Ridiculous would be Sue Storm and Reed.
Okay,
be good with that. Overall, then, I did still enjoy the episode.
Overall, my least favourite so far.
I think the good stuff outweighed. I don't think there's anything bad. I think the good stuff outweighed the slightly not so good stuff in this one. Whereas I think episode 3, at the time I enjoyed it, but now looking back, I'd say episode 3 is the weakest. Oh, we said last week it was the least good, didn't we? Yeah. I'd say this was better. Don't think it was the best episode yet.
Episode 2 has been my favourite so far.
I can't even remember.
That was the one I laughed my tits off at.
What was episode 2?
I don't remember now.
You can just remember laughing a lot.
I honestly, I can't remember what I've had for my tea.
It was good. It was good though. Hopefully, we're going to get Daredevil in the next episode. Hopefully, we're going to get
crossed.
Just to a point where we can see where it's going.
Yeah.
That's all we need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we see what the listeners think? Should we do Pod Fans Assemble?
Yeah.
Pod Fans Assemble.
So as usual, we did the poll to see what you guys thought. 58% of you loved it. 33% said it was okay, and 9% hated it. So it's not had the most hate. I think there's a higher percentage of okay.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, because more hate last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that falls pretty much in line with where you think it'd go, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what the listeners said then.
So Kenneth said, I really liked She-Hulk, but it did kind of feel they were treading water with this episode. I loved the fourth wall stuff, especially the one at the start about Wong being Twitter armor this week.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was brilliant, to be fair. Robin said, I want a Madisynn solo show.
Me too. We need one. See, it's not just me. Not just me at all.
Peacemaker said, another sadly alright episode. I want to love this show so badly, but I just can't. Though one upside is that maybe a certain blind lawyer will represent Titania in the upcoming episodes, as Jamila has signed on for both episodes 5 and 6. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
How do you know which episodes have been signed on for?
I don't know, but maybe that is where Matt Murdock's going to come in.
Maybe it is.
Is Matt going to represent Jen against Titania? Or would she just represent herself?
Who would...
You can represent yourself, but maybe she'll get somebody...
Could be a lawyer inception.
Yeah.
A lawyer representing a lawyer.
It's just the weirdest way of saying it, but I like it.
I don't know how my mind's working today.
It took my mind into a lot of weird places, that. But I'm okay with it.
Oh, my favourite name. Bargain Bin Harley Quinn.
Amazing.
Said, I want more of Wong and Madisynn with two ends, but it's not where you think.
Exactly. The more Madisynn, the better.
Is there anything worse than dating in your 30s? No, Jen, there is not. And do you know what? I actually said out loud, no, I'm with you there. There is not. Also hoping Donny Blaze becomes a regular cameo character in the MCU. Do you reckon he'll meet Trevor?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't like Donny Blaze.
I didn't like him. But do you reckon he'll meet Trevor?
I could see it.
Do you reckon Trevor could you imagine Trevor being absolutely amazed by the illusions and not knowing how he does it?
Been so impressed, even with shit ones.
Wonder Man.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely good at that.
Even if he just went one night to go and see a show and he's like, I'm going to watch this Donny Blaze.
I don't want Donny Blaze back. I want Donny Blaze's manager and lawyer. I want them.
Honestly, all they were missing was do 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 as they were doing it. That was the only thing missing from it.
It was amazing. I love both of them.
Sleepy Dad said, I think you have to look at this as more a general sitcom with Marvel links. Generally funny, but even they know and address it that Wong is carrying a lot of the stories. Running out of episodes to develop a big bad properly, as I thought the Wrecking Crew would at least feature again.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily episode count, but the fact that they are 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Go on, any ideas? Have your predictions from last week changed as to who the big bad could be?
I don't know, but I definitely want the Wrecking Crew to come back to I came in like a wrecking ball.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It
would not surprise me at all. It does feel a little bit more like it's a completely different show, just with like Marvel bits popping up.
Yeah.
Which it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, it's like people have had a bit of a dig at the Batman, and you said the same thing. You could take. It was Batman
a detective show, but yeah.
And you could. It's the same with this.
Yeah.
You could just have. And I know Jen in episode 1 said it's not a superhero show; it's a lawyer show. She is right.
Yeah, she's not lied to us.
It's just a lawyer show, and they've just inserted a little bit of the MCU into it.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing with Wong. It's all about him suing somebody. Do you know what I mean? It's just well weird. It's good though. I do like it. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah. Superhero Poll said absolutely loved it, especially these two. Actually, she looks a bit like Wanda there in that picture.
She does look a little bit like Wanda, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's Madisynn, by the way, because nobody else can.
Oh yeah.
It's Madisynn and Wong.
This is audio, not visual.
I do think that is just. I mean, I reckon if they did do a show, I'd be bored after 5 minutes. But at the moment, I want a Wong and Madisynn show. What would you call a Wong and Madisynn show?
A fucking head mess. Wong way through Madison Square.
No.
That was totally terrible, and I'm going to give up now while I'm behind. So anyway, Sheldon Pink said, #Wong is sin.
There you go.
Surprise, surprise. I loved the episode. Didn't laugh as hard as last week, but there were some great comedic moments. We learned why Titania hadn't been around and got a nod to Mephisto, surely.
Yeah.
Gotta love Wong.
If this is the series where Mephisto is the bad guy, I'll be a bit upset.
I'll be a bit upset.
I don't think you'll be a bit upset. I reckon you'll be fuming.
I will Hulk out.
No.
See what I did?
I did. That's what you did. That's clever.
I'm going to stop trying.
Start going your magic hands.
Movies for Real said this episode for me was funny, but was in general okay. Episode is better than last week by a mile. I did love the Wong plot, not so much the Tinder stuff, haha. But as far as the future, I don't know where they're going. First Marvel show where it's not really showing you anything.
Yeah, again, so it's not just us.
No.
Everyone's feeling the same thing, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to finding out, hopefully next week, a little bit more of information, but not as much the actual show itself.
Yeah.
I just need a little bit more info.
Yeah. Keir said, it's absolutely awful.
Fair play. It was nice and summed up.
Yeah.
Don't agree it was
Concise.
that bad, but fair play. I get why people would think it was awful, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without being one of these people who's like, oh, it's all woke and stuff like that. I can actually get now at this point.
Yeah.
I think episodes 1 and 2 were really, really good. And it's definitely taken a bit of a step down.
Yeah.
Not bad, but it's taken a step down. They should have shortened the episode count on this.
Yeah.
And just had the little bits of the last 2 episodes be part of other episodes.
Yeah.
They could have been really, really easy. I mean, we didn't need the whole elf. That was it last episode. The Asgardian elf shapeshifter.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't need that.
No.
Didn't do anything apart from get Megan Thee Stallion, who Anthony's got no idea who she is, a cameo in a Marvel movie. Did you see Kim Kardashian say she wants to be in the MCU?
Yeah.
Don't
fucking do that.
No, please no. I'm done then. Right, the podcast is over when Kim Kardashian pops up in the MCU.
But I think they might do it.
I know, yeah.
Because it's Kim.
Maybe hang on. Don't take that as gospel because it's probably going to happen next week.
Oh my god! Do you know
Titania going for dinner with Kim Kardashian? And Kim Kardashian leaked it.
Do you know what would be perfect?
What if she
because
was never
Kim
in
Kardashian's like perfect and stuff. The only way I would watch it if Kim was a relative of Korg, because he's spelt with a K, and she was rocks, and they just made her look not beautiful.
That's a reach, but yeah.
I'd be down for that. That's my ridiculous theory.
I don't want Kim Kardashian in the MCU.
Korg Kardashian.
No. Let's just leave. Let's not even like manifest that into the universe.
I don't. No, they should stay separate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could see it happening though.
Yeah, no, so could I.
Particularly in this. Particularly with Titania. What if Kim Kardashian has, like I've just said, sort of said this as in a bit like, wouldn't it be good if I was in the MCU? And then next week, Titania is texting or going for dinner with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy.
There will be no podcast next week.
No,
we'll carry on, but there'll be out of pure anger. There will be no podcast next week. So if there'll be no
review. We will sit here for 20 minutes in silence.
We will. We'll do the intro and then we'll sit in silence and say this is what we think of She-Hulk. Not talking about it. Anyway, thanks everybody for sending in your messages. Before we wrap up, let's do patron shoutouts. Thanks to Geeky Nate, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, and new patron Sheldon Pink for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast Into the Podverse with new episodes every month. Last month we did The Sandman from Netflix, which wasn't good. There you go, spoilers. This month, you lot all voted for us to watch Fantastic.
You bunch of bastards.
Thanks, guys. I'm not even joking. I am devastated. I do not want to watch that again.
I was totally looking forward to Batman and Robin.
I was really looking forward to Batman and Robin with all the Arnie jokes.
Yeah.
I can't think of one on the top of my head. Like,
get out!
That's not an Arnie joke from Batman and Robin.
Get to the chopper! It's so bad, but I'm okay with it.
But they're not from that. I should have prepped this. Right, next week we're doing. No, we're not doing Batman and Robin, but next week Anthony's going to practice some Arnie quotes from Batman and Robin. There you go. That's coming next week. If you want to listen anyway.
No, they won't.
No, not that. No, if you want to listen to us torturing ourselves with Fantastic, you can sign up for the Patreon. You can do it at thatsuperherothing.com/Patreon or hit the link in the episode description. You get access to our Discord server as well and merch discounts. And you get that for £4 a month. So head on over and have a look. Other than that, though, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week for our review of She-Hulk episode 5, unless Kim Kardashian's in it, at which point there won't be one. Plus, all the latest comic book movie news. Before next week, though, we'll have the D23 episode.
Yes.
This weekend. We don't know what day. Depends how I don't know. It depends how the weekend goes, I'll be dead honest. But yeah, it'll be at some point this weekend. Let's aim for Sunday.
Yeah, that's probably
and
best.
If it's earlier, then that's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, if you don't already, make sure to check out our socials at Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates on the show and calls to action for next week's Podfans Assemble. And if you've enjoyed the show, please make sure, as we said, to subscribe on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. Helps us out massively. The more subscribers and the more 5-star reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts and the more people will find the show. Other than that, though, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted after that.
I could tell.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and watch Batman and Robin now. When I should be watching Final Fantasy, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Should we try and do the Patreon from memory? It'll be a very short Patreon.
I only saw the first 20 minutes.
Well, tell you what. There's an idea. You watch it and you tell me about it.
I don't like that idea.
Go on, I'll watch it. I'm going to watch Batman and Robin first, so practice some Arnie impressions for next week.
Okay.
Or get you to, anyway.
They're not good though, my Arnie ones.
That's why it's good.
Oh,
that's going to be the best
I'm
bit.
not bad with some impressions, but Arnie's not a good one for me.
Have you ever seen Bill Hader do it on YouTube?
No.
He like deep fake his face, so every time he does an impression, he turns into Arnie. He's so good.
No.
There you go. Look at all the YouTube review things that we've done this week. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and we will speak to you in a couple of days at D23. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye. It's chicken from the Chicken Man.
I don't even know what that is, but I need
Do you know?
to see it. No.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's from SNL.
I don't know what it is.
I'll show you afterwards. Okay. It's chicken from the Chicken Man.
I need to watch that now. And he's broke.
It's so good.
I need to watch it.